Hey, so before I start this video, I just want to say that on Sunday the 12th at about 11 a.m. I'm going to have a layover in London, and I'm going to be there for about 4 hours or something like that. So if I have any London viewers, if you guys want to like meet up and go to a local pub, you know, just let me know. Hit me up on like Twitter or Facebook, and then, you know, we'll just grab a drink or something. Or if you don't drink, just stop by and say hello. And now it's time to restore some sanity back into the world. So I saw everybody freaking out about this Dear White People trailer that's gonna be a Netflix original, and I will admit, at first I thought like, what the fuck is going on? I was a little bit skeptical, and I went over and I saw the dislikes, and they are astonishing right now. And I mean, so on the surface, yeah, it just looks really bad, but then after a little bit of investigation, you know, like just I calmed down pretty quickly. So apparently there was a movie in 2014 called Dear White People, and that's what this series is based off of. Now once I found that out, I saw a lot of people talking about it, and people had their own opinions about it. So people were saying that it's just satire, it's comedy, and it's not that bad. Other people were saying it's still fucking racist and awful, so I had to see it for myself. And honestly, after seeing the movie, I mean, I would never go out of my way to watch it, but it's not that bad. I actually laughed a lot. There was a lot of stereotypical bullshit on each side. There was a lot of stuff, and the characters were actually very complex. And there was a lot of inner struggles of like how you should act in the black community. Am I too black? Should I keep acting this way? Am I too like, you know, am I too uppity as some people like to call it? There was just a lot of eternal struggles. There were struggles to be like, to fit in with one of the characters too. Just a lot of things across the board. I will say there was a lot of white people in it that were extremely ignorant, you know, and like say they were playing their roles very well. But it's not like, say, it was very satirical. Like, you wouldn't see a lot of this shit in real life, you know. I think it was kind of like to paint a story and to really just see how intricate some of these topics actually can be. Like even the main character that had the radio show Dear White People, at the very end she was kind of very conflicted, and even saying she doesn't want to be that angry black woman anymore. She didn't want to be that militant black, you know, that black power person that like that how a lot of black people actually are today. And it was very interesting. Like, you know, you were kind of like sympathetic towards the end, and there was just like a lot more to it. I didn't think it was just like a shit show of just shitting on white people. Now in the credits of the movie, they were showing a lot of stuff of like blackface and cultural appropriation. So yeah, there is a little bit of not just satire, they're just showing like this is somewhat of a problem. And the thing is though, I'm not gonna say that if I saw like a frat party, college people like dressing up and all blackface and stuff like that, yeah, I'd have a problem with it too. I think it's kind of fucking retarded. Now, should they not be allowed to do it? You know, that's arguable, of course. Like, you know, they have the right to do it, but I think it's fucking retarded. And being on like a school campus or something like that, I think the schools have the right to carry, you know, to take action if they so please, if people are so offended or whatever. But, you know, it's not insane, like, say, just dressing like a fucking samurai, just having like some armor and shit. But now, like, if you were trying to do some type of like, oh, let me fucking part my hair and like be going like this and get the teeth and be like, oh, hustle, and then you'd be like, whoa, pump the fucking brakes. So yeah, after seeing the movie, I was just like, oh, it's not of a big deal as I thought, you know, because I was seeing people saying that it's promoting white genocide, and there's people saying, oh, I'm gonna cancel my Netflix series and you should do the same. Everybody cancel your Netflix. Are you fucking kidding me? Even let's just say, even if this thing was pretty fucking racist, let's just say it's just a shit show, you're gonna just cancel your entire service? I mean, it's fucking, it's not Netflix, it's not in their entirety. There is such a wide range of fucking content on Netflix, and just because there's one thing that you really fucking don't like, you're gonna cancel your fucking service? I mean, that's just like, it's like pump the brakes, dude. That sounds a little bit like radical. It sounds like the type of shit, you know, the stuff that most people would consider themselves anti-SJW. It sounds very SJW-esque to me, like of just kind of getting in that radical, we need to boycott, we need to make sure this shit doesn't exist, we need to cripple them and let them know we don't like this and stuff. And I'm like, okay, go ahead and do that. Sure, but why are you trying to force other people to feel the rage that you feel, you know? Why don't you just be a fucking angry motherfucker? You know, if that's the way that you want to handle it, cool. But stop trying to fucking make everybody else feel the way you feel, because, you know, some other people might have some, you know, they want to investigate the situation and they may not be as offended as you are. So, of course, one of the talking points that kept coming up is like, oh, how would you guys feel if there was like a Dear Black People thing? And honestly, yeah, there would be a huge problem, but look at the problem that there is with with this, you know? And if Dear Black People was done in the same way as Dear White People is, the movie and shit, I would be saying the same fucking thing. I'd be like, yo, y'all need to chill the fuck out. It's not that big. There are shots being taken on both sides. There are fucking stereotypical black people and Dear White People. There are stereotypical white people. There's a lot of just infighting and a lot of shit, and just a lot of comedy and satire. And you know, that was actually kind of the theme in the entire movie. Kind of in the middle of the movie, one of the main characters even said something like, satire is the weapon of reason. And I absolutely agree with that. I think that was kind of the overtone of this, you know? Because trust me guys, for the people that have not seen this, it wasn't that bad. Trust me, it wasn't that bad. You should go see it for yourself before you kind of get outraged, you know? A lot of people said that it still had a lot of shit in it, and yes it did, but I've seen some stuff that was pretty fucking bad on Netflix too. I mean, there is this original series, Degrassi, you know, I know it didn't start off on Netflix, but there is original series now on Netflix, and it is one of the most SJW-esque fucking things I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
Would you like to do the honors, or will that only further upset your boyfriend? No, he's cool. I mean, I explained to him how equality doesn't always mean everything is equal. Equality doesn't always mean everything is equal.
Fucking what?
As disgusting as that was, I'm just like, I'm not fucking watching this, and I'm carrying on with my life. I'm not fucking starting a hashtag campaign and trying to get everybody else to just forfeit their Netflix because there is this horrible shit and with this horrible feminist propaganda and other bullshit in there. It's just like, fuck it, I'm not watching this. I'm not gonna support it. Fuck this shit. But that's where it ends. Other people were freaking out about this guy that's a writer in this series named Jack Moore because in his Twitter he said fuck white people. He had some stuff like this, and I thought that like, yeah, that's pretty fucking retarded. Anybody saying shit like this is like, what is your fucking damage? But then I actually watched Philip DeFranco's video, and he actually explained that it doesn't really look like he actually wrote on this show in particular.
Where I get confused is his bio says TV writer, current Netflix's Dear White People, but then when I go to the IMDb, he's not listed as a writer on Dear White People. The only person listed is the writer and director of the movie and now series, Justin Simien.
So last thing I want to talk about is what the fuck was Netflix thinking, you know? There's a few things that could have come up in my mind of how they were handling this. Like, number one, maybe they just didn't even think about like what happened with MTV News and the whole white guy New Year's resolutions and shit, how they got completely destroyed, and you know, because that was just obviously completely racist bullshit propaganda with no real fucking point to it other than just being condescending and just being completely just pieces of shit, you know? This was different, you know, the Dear White People movie, so maybe they thought that it was different. They're like, fuck it, we're just gonna just release it. And I'm like, what? And then there's the other side of it that maybe they saw all the publicity that happened, like everybody was talking about it. They're like, maybe everybody's gonna be talking about it too. I'm just like, Netflix, do you really think that's a good idea?
Right? I mean, yeah.
There is such thing as negative publicity when it comes to movies and stuff. It isn't like just being a celebrity where everybody's talking and discussing you. You know, obviously people can boycott and shit, like people were trying to do with, like, say, the Ghostbusters film. You know, Ghostbusters 2016, a lot of people were trying to boycott it. I wasn't trying to start any type of boycott. I'm just saying, I'm not fucking watching it. That's just it. I'm not gonna watch it, and you shouldn't feel bad for not watching it. And the same thing for this Dear White People. If you don't agree with it, yeah, definitely don't feel bad. I mean, but just going on this type of crusade, man, it's just like, it seems like you gotta pump your brakes just a little bit, you know? I understand that race relations are pretty fucking bad right now and stuff like this, and yeah, like Netflix was probably really stupid and maybe should have held off on releasing this at this moment. Maybe somebody should have been like, hey, something's going on and we need to just cool it because this is probably gonna fuck things up even worse. So what I'm trying to show you guys that people are blowing this a little bit way out of proportion in my opinion. I'm trying to show you that I think that this series isn't gonna be as bad. I think the fucking marketing was terrible, but it's gonna be not that bad, especially if it's based off of that movie, because that movie wasn't that bad. You know, I think most people that were making their reactions, their videos and stuff was just solely based off of that 30-second trailer. Like, they didn't see anything else into it, and I get it. Just looking at the trailer, it looks really fucking bad. They didn't really show anything. Like, you can't, how much can you show in a 30-second trailer? You know, maybe you need a full trailer, a minute, 2 minutes, maybe you can show other aspects in it, because just like in that movie, there are so many different sides, and then I understand if they're gonna base it just like off of that movie, it makes sense, because there was a lot of stuff going on in that movie where I'm like, I'd like to explore these people and their thoughts further, you know, and then you can do that in a series. Anyways, what do you guys think about this? Do you think people are overreacting? Do you think people are right? Do you think this actually promotes white genocide? I mean, honestly, I don't. I wonder, I'm like, please explain to me how this promotes white genocide. I'm all ears, but yeah, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Hey, look at me, I'm Chris Ray Gun. Just kidding, I love you, buddy. Please don't sue me.